homeless, I came across a schizophrenic woman pushing a cart full of clothes. And she was a little bit drunk on alcohol. I don't know if she drank hard liquor or beer that day, but she was a little bit drunk, a little bit off base. And she looked a little bit fearful of me and looked at me like she wanted a cigarette. I could tell right away. I said, "You want a cigarette?" "Yeah, sure, thanks." So I gave her like three or four, just so she knew I was friendly. Yeah, I didn't, that was it. So, "Wow, thanks, you're really nice." She sat down to have a cigarette with me. Well, as we got to talking, I found out that when she turned 18, she started hearing these voices. A lot of schizophrenics won't talk about it. She talked about it openly. When she turned 18, she started hearing these voices, and they won't go away. And she knows they're not real, but they are real. She says, "I can hear them. They're talking to me." I said, "They talk to you right now?" She goes, "Yeah." How many?" She says, "Like five of them." She goes, "And I drink alcohol because it helps me, them not bug me, but." I said, "You get disability and you don't have to live on the streets. You get Social Security disability, or I think it's called SSI. I'm not all familiar with that. The government will help if you have a disability. You get a place to live and stuff, and counseling. Maybe you can get a part-time job." She goes, "I know, I tried that, but I need to get my license because I lost it." Well, of course she lost it. A lot of schizophrenics are disorganized. It's called the disorganized schizophrenic. And if you don't have the medicine, you can't control this stuff. It's purely biological. It's not a choice. It's not something they want to do. It's just a brain malfunction. Okay, so she's sick. Period. She's sick. She's not a bad person. Living in a car, walking around the streets, drinking alcohol. I said, "Well, where are your parents? And how come they're not helping you?" She says, "Well, because when I was first started hearing the voices, I left, and I don't know where they're at. And my sister's kind of mean, and she was following me for a little while, but then I lost them. We were all together, and I ended up walking away. I don't know how to get back home, and I tried to call my sister, but it didn't help very much." I said, "When's the last time you talked to your parents?" She said, "Back then. I haven't seen them since. I don't know how I ended up here in Portland, Oregon, but I was in California, And she just accepted her way of life, going from free food to free food all day long, sleeping outside or in the shelter, and running whenever there were men that were getting too close with the fear of being taken advantage of, which obviously had happened more than once, because I ended up losing her later that day on my way to try to get her to the hospital, because it was a man-female bathroom being used, and a couple of men walked out as she was wanting to go in, and she thought there might be men in here and went running off. So here she's being victimized too, and but nevertheless, in my conversation with her earlier, I said, "Where are your parents? Do you know their name?" She remembered their name and where they lived. I forget. It was like Ohio or something. It's so far away out. I said, "You mind if I try to call them?" She goes, "Yeah, but I don't know their number." I said, "Let me try." And I called 401 information. Bam! I get their name right off the bat. Called them. The parents started crying. "Where is she? Can you help her, please? We lost track of her when she was 18." This woman's like 37 years old. She's been on the streets. No one offered her help. No one's done nothing. She's a menace to society. Don't talk on the bus. Our city will give people tickets for around $150 for riding we call it the Max light rail system, for not having a ticket. But you get on for free, but every now and then they'll expect a fare. So we're fining people, giving them fines, to the people who can't afford a ticket or don't have enough capacity to get one. I'm sorry about the traffic. Hang on. Take another quick example. 12-year-old child starts smoking pot because a friend introduced him to it at school. Said, "You're not cool if you don't try it." Takes one hit and is addicted immediately and doesn't know how to stop and is afraid to tell his parents because his parents look down upon it because it's been given such a bad connotation by people who absolutely know nothing about it. They just believe that you live this certain way. You don't use drugs. You work hard day by day. You get your paycheck. Forget about being a free thinker and starting your own business, or hey, let's start a nonprofit that might help people, or I got an even better one. Let's help homeless people. No, because if they tried harder, they would be better people. That's not my fault. Why should I help them? I work hard. Because in my previous discussion, because groups work better, unity works better. There's a reason that we live in families, communities, and a nation. Working together produces more than everybody working individually. So, because some people function less than others, and some overfunction, the overfunctioning ones help the ones that underfunction survive, and balances it all itself out. Nature will balance itself out when you allow nature to do what it does, and you try not to live independently, but you live in groups and you help your fellow man. That's what they used to do in the past. So that's what we're losing out here on, is we're forgetting about, and you'll remember this when you're near your death, because my father said it too. He goes, I've tried so hard to collect things and make money, and I always wanted to be rich and be happy. He goes, but now that I know I'm going to die soon from a heart disease that the doctor said you only have a few months, there's nothing we can do about it. We're very sorry. He was in a heart transplant. He realizes he's going through depression, knowing he's going to lose the ones he loves. It nothing he ever obtained in life, acquired, uh, really mattered. He didn't even think about that. So what if I had a great big boat? So what if I had a bunch of money from this mill working job? What matters is those moments where I really connected with someone and we had a great loving relationship. He was so glad for those, because that's what really matters. So some of you that have near-death experiences know, and I'm sorry if I look around. We're in a city here. They're going to start a marathon, and us homeless people are also fearful because we're discriminated against. So the